Disclaimer. The comments made in this video are intended solely for entertainment purposes and are not intended to harm or offend anyone.
The child support system is a complex and often contentious system that many men navigate in modern relationships. While it's designed to ensure that children receive the financial support they need, it can sometimes feel like a deeply unfair and punitive process for fathers. For many, the system seems to disproportionately burden men, leaving them struggling under heavy financial obligations while facing emotional and legal challenges. Today, an interesting episode of Judge Vonda B. shed more light on this. Here, we witness a troubling case that highlights the complexities and potential injustices in the child support system. Mr. Sanchez brought his case before the court, seeking child support because he has been the primary caregiver for his two children, one of whom has autism. His wife, who works at a hospital, has been largely absent from their children's lives, choosing to work extra shifts and neglect her responsibilities at home.
Okay, Mr. Sanchez, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Okay, Your Honor. I'm want to sue her for child support because, my kids are always with me, and she's always at work. She's always working for the hospital. Yeah, we said back then that we could do this together as one. I went so much as far as swapping complete schedules. I started doing overnight shift now, just so I can be there for my kids and everything. And she was supposed to be working for mornings, which she was, but she volunteered for more hours. And even when she's not at work, she's just never home. I don't know where she is. She doesn't call us. She doesn't call our kids. My kids are always wondering where she's at. And, I myself, sure, she can do what she wants as long as she lets me know where she is for her own safety. But my kids always wonder where she's at. They're always at, for days at a time, she's never home. And we broke it off several weeks ago.
Mr. Sanchez even adjusted his work schedule to overnight shifts to be more available for his children, demonstrating his commitment to their well-being.
And only with my income alone, I can't really just do it with just me and my kids, especially that one has autism.
All right, so you said you changed your job to now you work overnight?
Yes.
What is it that you do?
I drive an 18-wheeler. I drive locally. I deliver hospital supplies.
Okay, so I'm assuming that's how you all met.
Beforehand, but we had the same interest in the medical field.
Okay. All right. And how long has it been since you all stopped living together?
It's been, I want to say, a month and a week already.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
She just, for as long as I can remember, about 2 years now, she's just never been wanting to come home really. And honestly, I've caught her having some painkillers that I would only assume she's taken from the hospital she works at. She's either on painkillers or sometimes I'll find needles around and whatnot. So I know she works at a hospital, so she's got to get the drugs from there.
Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know?
I just hate that it's really around the kids. The kids find it before I do most of the time.
Oh my.
Yes.
Ma'am?
I mean, I'm not sure where he's getting this intel from, but that's
Obviously
not
the
true.
kids.
I mean,
are you saying your kids are liars?
they could be. I'm not sure.
You're not sure because you're not around that much?
I am around.
The wife, on the other hand, seems completely detached from her parental duties. She justifies her absence by claiming that saving lives is more important than spending time with her children. Yet she also dismisses her responsibility to contribute financially.
I just have to work all the time. It's not my fault that, saving lives isn't important to him.
No, I believe it is important to him. I don't think that's what he's saying. He's saying that you're not contributing anything.
Her responses throughout the court proceedings reveal a shocking lack of accountability.
I am, though. I feed them or sometimes, and
You feed them? You'd agree with me that that's your responsibility, right?
She brings them fast food and leaves again.
Okay, but it's food, though.
But you don't sit there and spend quality time with your kids. You say, here's food, and leave.
The tablet works just fine. They can just eat and watch the tablet. Why is that a problem?
Because
So you want to raise a child off of a tablet? You think that's
I mean,
okay?
they have educational stuff. I don't see what's wrong with it. Like, I need to go to sleep at some point in time.
Interesting.
Me personally, myself, I sit there with my kids and I open a book with them and I help them with their homework. I feed them. I'm not much of a good cook, but I do what I can to put food on the table and spend time with them. It doesn't matter if I lose sleep over it. I mean, that's why I went to overnight, because I want to spend time with my kids. I went to
Changed
overnight.
his shift to
As he
spend more
should,
time
he's
with
a
the kids.
dad.
She believes that since she gave birth to the children, her husband should be solely responsible for their upbringing.
As you should, you're a mom. The audacity.
I mean, but I have a more important job.
I mean, how many times are you gonna say that? I mean, you have the audacity to say that he's a dad and he should do these things, but you're the mom and not doing these things. He changed his shift, why can't you?
Because it's inconvenient to me.
I've actually heard a couple times to where she says, I gave birth to him, it's your job to take care of him.
You believe that?
Yes.
Interesting. Wow. No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You are going to financially support these children, and I'm going to make sure of it today. And you may want to look into trying to do a shift change yourself so you can spend some time with the kids. I mean, obviously, I can't court order you or force you to spend time with them, but you should want to spend time with the kids. And I mean, considering that one of them has autism, you should want to spend more time with your kids.
I mean, I get it, but it's too much work having a kid with autism. That's why I just leave it to him, because he's better suited for that.
Right, yeah, no, I'm not about to do this game with you. Since you left a month and a week ago, have you given him any money for the children? I don't need an explanation either. It's a yes or no.
No.
Okay, thank you. All right.
She's actually asked for money instead of giving.
And then you have the nerve to ask for money and the kids are with him?
I mean, he has an obligation to give me support.
You know what? I'm not about to play with you. You came here to waste my time because you have the same obligation to your kids. He should not be paying you anything if the kids are with him majority of the time. If they're living with him, if he is the primary parent, he is tasked with the daily duties of caring for these kids. He shouldn't pay you anything, ma'am. And it is ridiculous that you believe that he should. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. This is what we're going to do. How much money you make a year?
$60,000.
Okay, $60,000. All right, health insurance.
That's about I just have the individual. He has a family one under his plan, so I just pay $80 every 2 weeks.
Okay, health insurance. Is it private health insurance? Is the children under Medicaid? What are we doing?
It's Medicaid.
Medicaid?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to have to pay that back to Medicaid, just FYI, unless you want to put them on private health insurance, which I don't see why you would have a problem with it. You're a nurse. You have access to private health insurance, right?
Yes.
So why did you just get an individual plan when you have a family?
The judge's actions are decisive and aimed at correcting the imbalance in the situation. She ensures that the wife is held financially responsible for her children, despite the wife's reluctance to contribute.
That was a question.
Because it's his job to take care of them, and I shouldn't have to spend
You know what?
money.
Don't say that again about what his responsibilities are and what his job is, because you're a mom, period.
I mean, but I didn't sign up for it. Like,
countless times I've told her, yes, it is my job to take care of our children.
And you're
as a
doing
dad. And I'm doing well beyond.
She's not disputing that you're doing that.
Yes, and I feel
But
like
you're
I'm
not doing your part.
I feel like I'm always not doing enough for my kids.
I mean, but
and
you
only
also
because I don't
forced
have
me
my
to have
other
the
half.
kids. Like, I don't know why you're doing that.
Because
You don't want to have your kids?
I mean, like, when I was pregnant, I told him I didn't want them because I wanted to go party. And, like, he was just like, no, we got this. And, like, how is it my fault? He wanted them. I didn't want them. So.
But you kept them.
no, we've talked about having kids and we've wanted kids.
I know, but,
once
like,
she
when we
got
were
pregnant,
older,
once she
not
got
right
pregnant and
now.
she knew she couldn't do what she needed anymore, or really what she wanted anymore, then it was just, oh, this baby's really an inconvenience. to our lives.
I mean, but you know
This
that I
child
like to
support
party.
payment is about to be an inconvenience to you as well, because you're going to pay child support. Whether you wanted them or not is beside the point. You had them, they are here, they are your responsibility just as much as they are his responsibility. So $60,000 a year. I have your gross set at $5,000. Your net is $4,101.87. Medicaid reimbursement based on 9% of your gross is $450. Do you think you can get health insurance through your employer that's cheaper than that for the children?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
You don't want to look into it?
Not really.
We work for the same company. Yes, she does.
Oh, okay. So this is what we'll do. You just go ahead and pay that, and you can roll your eyes all you want to. I can roll my eyes too. We're just going to have you reimburse Medicaid that full $450. So that brings your monthly child support obligation for 2 children to $1,025 plus the $450 reimbursement to Medicaid for $1,475. Now, it looks like Dad also requested for you to pay back pay for that month in a week that you left and haven't given the children anything. I'm going to grant his request. So you have arrearages in the amount of $1,475. That's to be paid at $25 a month. So your monthly child support obligation, including the back pay, is $1,500.
The judge's ruling is a clear message that both parents share equal responsibility in raising and supporting their children.
You have any questions about anything I just said?
I mean, I just feel like it should be less. What am I going to be left with to party with? Like, what am I going to do?
I don't know, maybe pick up some extra shifts or work a part-time job.
Or take care of your kids.
Don't, you know, if she doesn't want to take care of her kids, I really don't care at this point. I just want to make sure he gets some financial assistance.
I mean, but he makes enough money.
The wife's delusional belief that she bears no responsibility is a stark reminder of how some individuals fail to understand or acknowledge their roles in a partnership.
And I mean, you make enough money too. So again, do you have any questions about anything I just said?
No.
Okay. You have any questions, sir?
No.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
The second case, Boyd versus Selinger, presents yet another scenario where a father, Mr. Boyd, is struggling to adjust his child support payments due to a significant reduction in his income. Unlike Mr. Sanchez in the previous case, who was the primary caregiver, Mr. Boyd's case revolves around his financial difficulties and the lack of understanding from his ex-partner.
Mr. Boyd,
Yes.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Recently I was demoted, and so I'm not making as much money, so trying to not pay as much money.
Okay. Is that the only, like, where were you working?
I'm still in the same job. I just got a worse part of the job. So I'm in sanitation.
Okay.
So basically I have to clean poop all day and make sure it doesn't get in the water, so whenever you're drinking, you don't have poop or hepatitis or anything like that in your water. I literally gotta sort it out, so when you get it, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't drink that.
No, you can. I made sure that there was no, it's good
Okay. All
because
right.
of me, yeah. But
Okay,
I
well,
get
thank
paid
you.
less now, so
I'll make sure when I drink water from now on to thank Mr. Boyd.
you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. How old is the child?
He's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
4-year-old boy. All right. So you have less pay now.
Despite Mr. Boyd's valid reasons, including his reduced income and the responsibility of supporting another child from a different relationship, Ms. Selinger is more focused on her resentment towards his new fiancé than on the welfare of their child. Her attitude suggests a deep-seated bitterness, which clouds her judgment and prevents her from acknowledging the legal and financial realities of the situation.
Okay. And you're not in agreement to just decreasing his child support?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
I feel like he's lacking on his duties as the father. He also has another child with another woman. So I really don't think he's budgeting his money or time well, and I'm not going to accept his reduction.
Okay. So you don't believe he's budgeting right?
No, I don't. I think he's spending all his money on his new fiance, and shoes.
So you're mad about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty mad about it.
Okay. Well, get over it. That's the first thing. Second thing is you said he has another child. So even without a reduction in what he makes, that requires an adjustment right there. Him having another child entitles him to get his child support adjusted.
Well, maybe he should get his attitude adjusted. I don't know.
Well, can you quantify his attitude into any type of money or anything?
I wish he could.
Well, we can do that, right? So, I mean, by law, he has a right to ask for a reduction in child support. And by your own admission, you gave me a second reason why he qualifies for it.
I mean, I don't really understand because we almost make the same amount of money, so...
Right. But he's the one court ordered to pay child support, right? Right?
Right.
Okay, so your income has nothing to do with what he makes. And if he has another child, and according to these documents, he did get a huge reduction because his child support amount was $850 previously. So because he has a second child, that by itself, the law allows him to get a reduction in child support, whether you like it or not, unfortunately. What are you doing with the money, just out of curiosity?
I'm supporting Ricky, our child.
By support, what are you doing for him?
I practically pay for his private school.
Okay.
I'm buying him daycare when I leave for work.
Okay.
I pay for almost everything.
Okay. What are you using it for on yourself?
Nothing.
So you were using all $850 for the child only?
Yes.
Okay. Because it sounded like it was for another reason why you're so upset. Or is it just because of the new girlfriend?
Could be both.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So this is what we're going to do.
The judge's actions are rooted in fairness, ensuring that Mr. Boyd's obligations are adjusted to reflect his current circumstances. However, Ms. Selinger's disappointment and her focus on her personal grievances instead of her child's best interests highlight a common issue in these cases: the tendency to let personal feelings interfere with practical decisions regarding child support. The reactions of both women in these cases, one delusional about her lack of responsibility, the other driven by personal vendettas, further complicate the situation, making it even harder for these men to get the fair treatment they deserve.
He has good reason, and he has shown proof to the court that he qualifies for his child support to be reduced. So we're going to go based off of what he currently makes. Says here on your W-2 you make about $41,000.
That's correct.
Okay. For one child, well, you have two kids.
I do.
Okay, so that changes. So what we're going to do is calculate that. So that brings your gross down to $3,287.67. Who pays health insurance?
He does.
How much is health insurance?
$129 a month.
Okay. He also gets a credit for that as well, for carrying health insurance. So his net comes out to about $2,725.36, giving you credit for your other child. That brings your percentage down, and your new child support amount is going to be $476.94. So I hope that you can pay the tuition and, you know, your attitude about him being mad off of that new amount in child support, $476.94. Can you do that?
Sure.
I mean, you don't have a choice really, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Anything further?
Nope.
Anything further from you?
No,
You seem disappointed.
I am disappointed.
Why? He has legal grounds to ask for that.
I just wish he would pay attention to our child more, that's all.
Okay. So what do you mean by that?
He doesn't like our child.
How do you know he doesn't like the
He
child?
straight out told me before we came here.
Maybe he doesn't like his behavior. What is it?
Yeah,
about the child?
he doesn't like football.
Oh,
And that-
okay.
And that really if I didn't like football, my father would probably have disowned me. And so he doesn't like football, and I think she's trying to, you know, get him into like other stuff, like, I don't know, cheerleading or something. I don't know. And it hits me right here.
Yeah. It hurts my feelings too because I love football. Maybe you should encourage that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything further? Okay. You all are dismissed.
In this particular case, a wife brings her husband to court, alleging that his behavior around other women in his pool business justifies her seeking a divorce and substantial financial support. As the case unfolds, it's clear that the wife is not only seeking child support, but also spousal maintenance to sustain a lavish lifestyle, including private school tuition, a nanny, and a new home comparable to the one she currently lives in.
Okay, Mrs. Harper, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, basically, I am leaving Mr. Harper because I have reason to believe that he's been involved with other women, and we have 2 children. We've only been married 2 years,
Okay.
and I'm devastated.
All right. How old are your children?
They are 2 and 6 months.
Oh, you have little babies.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
All right. So you said you have reason to believe. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, we're in the pool business. My husband, soon to be ex-husband, is in the pool business, and you know, he's going out to these pools after they're finished. I mean, these women are in their bikinis. They're laying out, why does he need to be over there? He's saying that he's just servicing. I don't know what he's servicing. But
Servicing the pool after hours?
That's a good question. That's a good question. So, yeah, I mean, I looked at his phone one day. I mean, it was just because I needed to check on something because I'm in the business too. I'm the secretary.
Okay.
And there's these women, these customers that are texting him. And I mean, I can't even repeat what some of these texts
The customers that are in the swimsuits?
So they're the women of these pools that have been put in, and they're texting him long after the pools have been put in.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what are you seeking here today?
Well, basically, I just can't bring my children up in this kind of situation. And I basically want to leave with the children. And, you know, he makes a lot of money. Our business makes a lot of money. But when I leave, I'm not going to have that. So I need to keep the lifestyle that my children and I have had. They go to private school, and we have a nanny. And so I need to continue that so that their lives aren't disturbed. And we live in a house, $500,000, and I need to maintain something similar so that it's not a big adjustment for any of us.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions. Private school, do you all pay tuition for that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. How much is it? If you were to break it down monthly, because I know tuition sometimes isn't a monthly thing.
It's about $1,800 a month.
$1,800. What kind of private school is it?
It's a good private school.
Oh my gosh. They teaching the baby how to drive?
Well, the baby's not there yet, but he will
Well,
be.
the 2-year-old, right?
Well,
That's still a baby for $1,800.
It's a tuitional, I mean, you grow with the school, so.
Does the tuition payment grow too?
No.
Oh, okay. So it stays at
It stays,
$1,800.
yeah.
Okay.
Once they're accepted, they're accepted.
Okay, I follow you now. So if we were to break that down monthly, that's about $150 a month. What about the nanny? How much does she cost monthly?
I mean, he pays most of the bills, so he can probably answer that better.
Okay. Have you already started looking at other homes, other apartments, or anything like that?
Yeah, you know, there's a couple other homes in the neighborhood that I'd really like to move into. I think that would be the least disruptive to me and to the kids.
Okay.
So, yeah. And
would you be renting out those homes?
Basically, I would like to buy one.
Okay.
So that we can maintain the same lifestyle that we've had.
Okay. If you were to buy a home, the homes that you were looking at, what are you looking at on mortgage?
About $3,000 a month.
Okay.
But again, I mean, I would think he would need to pay the majority of that.
Okay. So you want him to buy you a home? You and the children a home?
I mean, I would call it spousal support. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about any other bills that you would potentially have to pay?
So, you know, I think he should keep paying for the nanny and the private school.
Okay.
And, you know, I have been only working part-time. And of course, I would not want to keep working in the business with him and these customers who are still coming around. So I would have to find a job, and that could take a really long time. So I would think he should pay everything until I find something where I can work part-time.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
Well, just don't believe his excuses about these women. That's all I can say.
Oh, okay. All right. Mr. Harper?
Well, there's no excuses about any of the women.
The husband's defense is that he built the business from the ground up and is committed to maintaining quality relationships with his clients, which sometimes requires after-hours visits. He denies any inappropriate behavior, but acknowledges the challenges of balancing work and family life.
I had developed this business long before we got married.
Okay.
And we've been married a couple of years. And I've worked hard to get this business to where it is. I've got a great staff. I've got a great team of crews out there working. And you know, one of the things that I do is I go out and I make sure the work's quality work so I can put my name on it. Do I take care of my clients after we've put in a pool? Absolutely.
Well, your definition of taking care, is it what she's thinking?
No,
Okay.
it's I maintain contact with my clients, and they contact me if there's an issue, if they've got questions.
He maintains contact.
And I go out and I see those clients because that tends to give me more referral business, and I'm not having to spend as much on marketing and advertising as I would if I didn't have that referral business.
The wife's reaction is emblematic of a Karen stereotype. She's quick to assume the worst and seems more focused on maintaining her lifestyle than on the well-being of the children or her marriage.
Okay.
So I want to make sure I keep in contact with all those clients.
Why are these women saying that, come over, I'm going to be laying out?
They tell me whatever they want to tell me. That has nothing to do with.
So you go join them while they're laying out?
Well, I mean, if they're out by their pool, they're out by the pool. That has nothing to do with my business.
Do you join them in the pool?
No.
Okay.
I saw a picture. One of those texts had a picture of you in the pool.
I don't.
What were you doing in the pool? You were checking the depth?
I don't remember ever seeing that picture. So now I will say this: she has imagined a lot of stuff that goes on.
She has a good imagination.
Very good.
Oh,
and
okay.
she does work part-time as the secretary, but her primary job is to take care of the kids.
Okay, so you agree with everything she said about taking care of the kids and everything like that?
And she does a fairly good job when she's there.
Oh, what does that mean?
Primarily, the nanny does all the work for taking care of the kids.
Speaking of the nanny, how much do you pay her a month?
We're actually paying her probably a little less than what we deserve, but it's probably about $1,200 a month.
Okay.
And
so you make pretty good money. How much money do you make in this pool business?
Well, I've been averaging about $280 a year.
But it could be higher?
It could be.
Or it could be lower?
It depends on the market.
Okay.
He's not even being truthful about that. He makes over 300.
He makes over 300? Okay. Is that true, Mr. Harper?
No, that's not true.
So where did she get that from?
Well, I mean, it's her lifestyle. I mean, she likes going out with her girlfriends and having her lunches and having her, her spa days and
therapy sessions.
I pay
You
for.
You call your spa days therapy sessions?
No, I'm going to therapy because of what he's putting me through.
Oh, okay. You sure it's not what your imagination is putting you through?
I imagine
because he said you are imagining all of this.
I imagine he was a good guy too a couple of years ago when I said I do. So yeah, only in that do I have a good imagination.
Oh, okay.
So not only do I maintain the house and maintain the bills and take care of all that. I also have the kids on my insurance, her on my insurance.
How much is the insurance for just the children?
$309.
$309, okay.
Yeah. And, that's important to me. I want the kids to be safe. I want the kids to be brought up in a good, wholesome environment.
Wholesome.
And she,
You're not
she
even
gives
home
everything
at
off to the
night.
nanny.
Ma'am, let him speak. I gave you an opportunity to speak. He did not interrupt you while you were speaking. I promise I will get back to you. Continue, Mr. Harper.
She doesn't, she pretty much hands everything off to the nanny and requires the nanny to take care of all that. She's got a pretty cozy lifestyle. We've got a nice house. I'd like to keep the kids, with me.
No.
And make sure they're taken care of because she's too busy taking care of herself.
All right. But your work schedule, would that permit you to have the children on a full-time basis?
It would be difficult, but I would see it made sure it happened.
So wouldn't it be in the best interest of the children for them to just stay with mom like they've always been doing?
Well, if mom would stay with them, yeah, I would agree with that. But it's like I said, it's primarily the nanny.
But you're paying for the nanny, so it would be the same difference if you were to have them. Well, no, they would be with the nanny more if they were with you.
Possibly.
So you could potentially be paying the nanny more if the children were with you. Yeah, I don't think that's good for them. Ms. Harper, I have a couple of questions for you. What is your educational background, if any?
Yeah, I'm very proud to say that I got my GED.
Okay.
Yes.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you were going to say something else when I asked you not to interrupt him.
Oh, well, so he's saying he wants them to have a wholesome lifestyle. Like, give me a break. What's wholesome about going to these women's houses, when he could be at home at night? So it's not always during the day. He's not home a lot
I'm
at
not
night.
at women's houses every night or anything like that.
But some nights, huh?
No, not even some nights. Occasionally it happens. And their family is there as well.
So your customers call you at night for pool maintenance?
No, they'll call me at night.
Is that what you're telling me here today?
No, they'll call me at night to ask me questions about referrals, about maintaining the pool, things like that.
At night?
Sure. Usually when I go over at night, their families are there too.
How late are we talking at night?
Oh, 9 o'clock.
Okay. That's not too late.
It makes no sense. Wholesome
well, I agree
family.
with that. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, a wholesome family. We would have dinner together. We would be at home. We'd be reading to the kids, playing with the kids, putting them to bed.
Should have fixed dinner, but yeah.
Ooh, so you don't cook?
Well, we have somebody for that.
Oh, so you all have a chef too?
Well, we usually have food brought in, either I come home with dinner or pick something up, but yeah, kitchen, no, that's for snacks.
Oh, okay.
The judge's response is balanced, recognizing that the wife may indeed need some support, but not to the extent that she completely depends on her husband. The ruling acknowledges the importance of both parties contributing to their children's well-being, and emphasizes that spousal support should be temporary and aimed at helping the wife become self-sufficient.
Well, this is what I am going to do. I definitely think that your wife has grounds. She's eligible to receive some sort of spousal maintenance, especially if she no longer wishes to remain in the home with you. Had she wished to remain in the home, this would probably be a different type of situation. She may still be entitled to some spousal maintenance, just probably not as much. So what I'm going to do is to order you pay spousal maintenance to your wife, and it's not going to be anything that's forever, ma'am. I just want you to understand that it would definitely be a temporary situation, at least to get you on your feet so you can look for a job, find suitable living arrangements for the children and everything like that. So first, let's start with child support. You said your yearly income is about $280,000 a year. So that would put you, even if it's at $300,000, ma'am, in Texas, he caps. So his gross would be based on $12,325.35, which would make his net resources $9,200. Now, sir, are these the only 2 children you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So $9,200.
Supposedly.
Well, you know, that has nothing to do with me. We can review that at a later date, but as of today, that has nothing to do with me. So when we look at your income, that brings your net resources to about $8,891. You have 2 children. So if we multiply that by 25%, that brings your child support amount to $2,222.75. Now, your wife testified, and you really didn't disagree with her, that you testified about the nanny costing $1,200 a month. I'm going to order that you keep paying that. The private school is $1,800 a month. I'm going to order that you keep paying that. Wife also testified that the mortgage potentially for the next home will be about $3,000. I'm not going to order him to pay all of that. I'm not going to order him to pay all of that because, ma'am, you will be working and you should be able to maintain something. I'm not going to have him just 100% take care of you. Spousal maintenance is to assist. It's not to help you, just live off of him for a long time. So spousal maintenance is going to be in the amount of $4,500. I gave you a credit for that $309 with the health insurance. So that brings your monthly obligation for child support and spousal maintenance to $6,800 a month, which I believe is pretty fair. I mean, you've been maintaining the nanny, you've been maintaining the private school. Nothing should change when it comes to the children. But as far as you're concerned, I do believe that part of that responsibility should be yours in terms of paying the mortgage. And I just want to reiterate, this is only temporary. So you start working, you make decent living. The children, for whatever reason, are no longer in private school, or the nanny is for whatever reason removed. He can come back and petition the court and ask for something different. And there's a high likelihood his payment of spousal support to you may be removed. So I just want to make sure I'm clear about that.
So what if it takes me a year to get a job?
Well,
Probably take her longer than that.
I hope it wouldn't take you years, ma'am. At that point, you're just being spoiled, must I say. It should not take you years to find a job. If it takes you years to find a job, that means you are intentionally not actively looking for a job. And if he comes back in here and that is the case, I will surely make sure that he stops paying you spousal maintenance. Okay? Is there anything further?
No.
You have any other questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This case highlights a common issue in family courts where men may feel unfairly burdened by financial obligations, especially when they believe they are being penalized for unproven allegations or for simply trying to maintain their business. It raises important questions about fairness in spousal support and child support cases, especially when one party seems more interested in financial gain than in the actual needs of the children or the fairness of the situation. If you found this discussion insightful, don't forget to subscribe for more content.